So I wrote my speech on how two different countries use their prison systems differently. Um, my specific purpose is to inform the people that rehabilitation works and harsh punishment does not. And I believe that the United States uses harsh punishment, or believes that harsh punishment works, while Sweden believes and knows and has proven that rehabilitation works. And so, off to my main point, or one of my main points, mandatory prison sentences do not scare off first time offenders. And federal drug laws can give first time offenders up to 5 years without even, looking at, what, who they are, what they've done in the past. Is just, if they have enough drugs on them, it's just straight up 5 years. And that's just how it's been since the 80s. And it really, takes the judge's judging ability away from him, and he's not able to do his job. And look at the characteristics of the person. Look at how he's acted in society. Like a first time offender, if he's never done anything, then he's still hitting that 5 year minimum sentence. And the United States put in these laws so that people don't get the urge to offend with drugs, which, like I said, I just don't feel like it works. And in today's prison systems, drug offenders get longer prison sentences than some more serious criminals and some crimes, like sex offenders, rapists. Which is sad to say, but drug offenders first time can get longer sentences than some of those more serious crimes, which I do not agree with personally. And Sweden has shown again. Sweden has shown that we can rehabilitate these first time offenders, maybe it won't happen again. And if they did, they just keep going through that process. They just keep until it gets into their mind that it's wrong and they shouldn't do it, rather than just slamming them in the jail and forgetting about them, like they never existed. And in the U.S., September of 2014, 50% of sentenced inmates in a federal prison were serving time for drug offenses. Versus in Sweden, in March of 2013, there were as few as 200 drug-related sentences, which is a big difference. I understand that the population number versus Sweden versus United States is a big difference, but still, that is a significantly smaller number than the United States, which is ridiculous. And on to my second point, helping drug-related criminals get out of prison and stay out would reduce the taxpayer cost by the millions and probably even the billions. So the United States spends almost $50 billion annually against the war on drugs. The number of Americans arrested for possession has tripled since the 1980s. And spending that much money and having such bad results, I feel like they would learn, if something isn't working, then you should just stop doing it. But the United States doesn't believe that, and they've been doing it since the 80s, and they're just going to continue to do it and spend our taxpayer dollars on housing these criminals rather than trying to get them out and put them back into society to contribute to our economy. I feel drug use needs to be treated as a health issue and not a criminal justice issue. Despite the evidence that addiction is a treatable disease of the brain, many criminals end up not getting any treatment at all, which is crazy to me, because if the evidence is there, why not give them what they need? Maybe they can be a better person than what they were, because a recent study in 15 states showed almost one quarter of drug offenders usually reoffend and return to prison within 3 years of being released. Upon release from such a place as prison or jail, addicts often suffer tests to their sobriety from old friends or even family, which is crazy to think, but it's honestly the truth. You get out of jail, and your friends or family that did the same thing as you, they didn't get the same punishment as you, so they think it's all right, and they keep going while you're in jail, and then you get out, even worse than when you went in. So they're there to to try and get you back on what you're doing. It's sad, but the number of prisoners that reoffend in Sweden are only 1,500 out of the 9 million person population, which is crazy. I just feel like I feel like Sweden knows what they're doing with their rehabilitation system. You know, sending them through, getting them the treatment they need. It just they figured it out, and I know they're saving themselves a lot of money. And so, third and lastly, seeing inmates leave prisons better than when they came in should be the goal for all prisons across the United States. Every drug abusing offender that does not get treated was a chance missed at improving our public's health and safety. Even though, so implementing treatment into the United States criminal justice system is giving someone that second chance. One would maybe not couldn't afford themselves. You know, if they couldn't afford it and they need it, I feel like in prison, if that's the lowest point they can get, maybe they should get it, you know, for free. I mean, if they can't help themselves, why can't the government help them? Maybe they were a taxpayer themselves. You know, they paid into the system. Why can't they reap the benefits from what they paid into? And in Sweden, they believe a second chance is a way for redemption for all drug users. And I feel like that's the motto we should go by ourselves. So in conclusion, Swedish officials see drug-related criminals and try and offer them a second chance in life, while the United States sentence harsh punishments for simple crimes that can be related to unstable mental health. If you were the prisoner, how would you want to be treated? Would you want the chance at a better mental health and a better life? Changing the United States' outlook on apparent drug crisis could save so much money on the taxpayer. Really give the judges the ability to look at a person's life circumstances and help prisoners leave way better than when they were sent to prison.